Hi students, in today class we continue the NEET question paper. Question number 37. A long solenoid of 50 centimeter length having 100 turns carries a current of 2.5 ampere. The magnetic field at the center of the solenoid is. So magnetic field formula: inside the solenoid, magnetic field formula B equal to mu naught Ni. Here N is the number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. So this can also be written. So mu naught small n can be written total number of turns divided by total length into I. So this is the formula. Then B equal to mu naught value 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. And n value, number of turns is given 100, divided by length is given 50 centimeter. 50 centimeter can be written 0.5 meter into I is given 2.5 ampere. Then if we simplify this, it is coming, so 6.28 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. So option A is the correct option. Next question 38. A charged particle having drift velocity of 7.5 into 10 power minus 4 meter per second in an electric field of 3 into 10 power minus 10 volt per meter has a mobility in meter square per volt per second of. So mobility formula, they're asking mobility. So mobility can be written mu equal to the average drift velocity per unit electric field. So this is the formula for mobility. Then we can write drift velocity is already given 7.5 into 10 power minus 4 divided by electric field is given 3 into 10 power minus 10. Then if we simplify, we get the value 2.5 into 10 power 6. So mobility equal to 2.5 into 10 power 6 is the answer. So B option is the correct option. Next question 39. The quantities of heat required to raise temperature of two solid copper spheres of radii R1 and R2 through 1 Kelvin are in the ratio. So they are asking the ratio of quantity of heat. So heat required to raise the temperature for any body formula, so dq equal to ms delta T. So delta T is the increase in temperature, that is 1 Kelvin for both. So delta T is the same, and S is the specific heat capacity. It depends on the material. So here both are copper spheres, so S is also same for both. Then M is the mass. Mass can be written volume into density. So M can be written, volume can be written 4 by 3 pi r cube into density rho S delta T. Now we can write dq1 for first body heat required divided by dq2 heat required for first body divided by second body equal to, if you see in this formula, 4 by 3 pi constant, rho is same for both. Rho is the density, both are copper spheres, so density is same, and S is specific heat capacity, it is also same for both. Delta T is given 1 Kelvin for both of them. So only R is different. So here R cube is there, then we can write R1 by R2 whole cube. Then R1 value is given 1.5 R2. So R1 by R2 can be written 3 by 2. 1.5 can be written 3 by 2 whole cube. So 3 by 2 whole cube can be written 3 cube 27, 2 cube 8. 27 upon 8. So option A is the correct option. Next problem 40. An electron is accelerated from rest through a potential difference of V volt if the de Broglie wavelength of electron is 1.227 into 10 power minus 2 nanometer. The potential difference is. So we need the de Broglie wavelength of electron. So de Broglie wavelength of electron formula 1.227 into 10 nanometer. Nano means 10 power minus 9. So 10 power minus 9 divided by V under root. So root V meter. This is the formula for de Broglie wavelength of electron. So now in this given problem, de Broglie wavelength is given already. Lambda is given 1.227 into 10 power minus 2. So here nanometer. So nano means 10 power minus 9. So left hand side 1.227, right hand side 1.227 cancel, and 10 power minus 9, there also nanometer 10 power minus 9, both will cancel. Then 10 power minus 2 will be left on the left hand side. So left hand side only 10 power minus 2 will be left, right hand side 1 upon root V. Then V can be written, root V will go to left side, root V equal to 10 power minus 2 comes up, 10 power plus 2, root V can be written 10 power plus 2 whole square, 10 power 4 it becomes. So 10 power 4 is the correct answer. Now option D is the correct answer. Next question 41. Taking into account of significant figures, what is the value of 9.99 meter minus 0.0099 meter? So here, while considering significant figures, we have to subtract 9.99 minus 0.0099. So it is simple subtraction. We will subtract like this. So 10 minus 9, 1, 0, 8, 9. So 9.9801 will come. So then here, while doing subtraction by taking significant figures into account, we need to follow a rule. In subtraction and addition also, the final result should have the least number of decimal places as there in the given numbers. In the given numbers, first number has 2 decimal places. After decimal point, there are 2 digits. In the second number, there are 4 digits. So least is 2 decimal places in the first number. Then final result also should have least number of decimal places as there in the given result. In the given result, 2 decimal places are there. Then in the final result also 2 decimal places. After decimal place 9, 8 should be there. We need to round off 0 and 1. We need to round off 0 and 1. Here 0 is the immediate insignificant digit. That 0 is less than 5. When 0 is less than 5, the preceding digit 8 remains 8 itself. Then answer becomes 9.98 itself. We drop 0 and 1 and 0 is less than 5. So 8 remains same. So 9.98 is the answer. So option B is the correct option. Question number 42. A ball is thrown vertically downward with a velocity of 20 meter per second from the top of a tower. It hits the ground after some time with a velocity of 80 meter per second. The height of the tower is. So it is kinematics formula. We can use simple formula. They have given us initial velocity 20, final velocity 80, and it is coming downward. It is thrown downward. So we can use the formula v square minus u square equal to 2as. In this formula, v is given 80, 80 square minus u is given initial velocity 20, so 20 square equal to 2 into a is the acceleration for freely falling body, we take a value g value 10, and s is the displacement, that is the height from where it is thrown downward. So we need to find that h value. So by simplifying this, we'll get the h value, and the answer is 300 meter, and D option is the correct option. Next question 43. A capillary tube of radius r is immersed in water and water rises in it to a height h. The mass of the water in the capillary is 5 gram. Another capillary tube of radius 2r is immersed in water. The mass of water that will rise in this tube is. So here we need the capillary rise formula, height of the liquid in capillary tube. So that height of the liquid in capillary tube formula, h equal to 2t cos theta divided by r rho g. T is the surface tension, theta is angle of contact, r is the radius of capillary tube, and rho is the density of liquid, g is the acceleration due to gravity. So height depends. Now if you see the diagram, so capillary tube, when it is placed inside the liquid, so the liquid will rise inside like this. So we need to find mass of this liquid. In the first case already it is given 5 gram. Now in second case, capillary tube radius is become 2r, double. Then how much mass becomes? So then let us write mass formula. So mass of the liquid in capillary tube can be written. This capillary tube is in the cylindrical shape. So mass can be written volume into density. Volume of the cylindrical shape is pi r square h. Pi r square h is the volume into density. So already here we calculated r formula, h formula, h equal to 2t cos theta by r rho g. If you substitute, that one r will be cancelled, then you will get formula m is directly proportional to r. When we substitute h formula, in h formula h is inversely proportional to r is there in denominator. Now in the m formula r square is there, one r will be cancelled, one r will be left. M is directly proportional to r. Now r is given 2r, second case. When r is doubled in proportionality relation, m is also doubled, mass will be doubled. First case mass is given 5 gram, now in second case mass is 10 gram. So C option is the correct option. Next question 44. A resistance wire connected in the left gap of a meter bridge balances a 10 ohm resistance in the right gap at a point which divides the bridge wire in the ratio 3:2. If the length of resistance wire is 1.5 meter, then the length of 1 ohm resistance wire is. So in the left side gap there is a resistance wire, and the right side gap there is 10 ohm resistance. Now the bridge wire is divided into 3:2 ratio. Then length of resistance wire is given 1.5 meter. Now length of 1 ohm resistance wire. So first let us find resistance in the left side gap by using balancing condition of resistance. So balancing condition of resistance is R by S equal to L1 by L2. So R is resistance in the left side gap, we need to find. S is the resistance in the right side gap. Resistance in the right side gap is given 10 ohm. So R divided by 10 equal to the ratio of lengths given 3:2, 3 divided by 2. Then 10 will go to right side, 10 into 3, 30 by 2, 5, 15. So R equal to 15 ohms. So resistance wire in the left side gap, the wire has resistance 15 ohms. Now we need to find the length of 1 ohm of the resistance wire. So this resistance wire has length given in the problem 1.5 meter. So 1.5 meter wire has resistance 15 ohm. Then what is the length for 1 ohm resistance? Then again we use the resistance formula. R is directly proportional to L. Then R1 by R2 equal to L1 by L2. then R1 is the resistance of total wire. If I write 15 ohm is the total resistance, R2 is the resistance 1 ohm they are given. So L1 is the length of total 15 ohm. Total 15 ohm has 1.5 meter, divided by that L2 we need to find. L2 is the length of 1 ohm resistance, 1.5 meter is the length of 15 ohm. So they're asking the length of 1 ohm. So L2 value we should find. So by simplifying this, you will get L2 value 0. So we got the length 0.1 meter. 0.1 meter can also be written 10 into 10 power minus 2 meter. So option A is the correct option. Here B is marked, but option A is the correct. 45. For the logic circuit shown in the truth table is. So they have given us a truth table. We need to find the logic gate for it. So for that, let us first find what output will come. So for that, you see the first logic gate given there, NOT gate. So A is the input for NOT gate. Then what is the output for NOT gate? A bar. And similarly, B is the input for another NOT gate. Then output for this NOT gate will be B bar. This A bar and this B bar are the inputs for next NOR gate. Then output for NOR gate. So output for NOR gate, we know NOR gate, first we need to add both the inputs and put whole bar. This is the output. This can be further simplified. When you break this total bar, then the operation between both the inputs become dot. So this is A bar, another bar, dot, plus become dot. Then here B bar is there, another bar. So we know A bar, B bar is, A bar whole bar is nothing but A dot, B bar whole bar can be written B. So A into B is the output, which is nothing but AND gate. A into B is the AND gate. So the output of this given logic circuit is nothing but output of AND gate. So now we need to check the options. AND gate, A into B is the output. Output is A into B. Now first option, if you see, so input A value 0, B value 0, 0 into 0, output 0. Next, A value 0 given, B value 1 given, 0 into 1, 0, Y value 0. And A is given 1, next B is 0, 1 into 0, 0. Next, last 1 into 1, A value 1, B value 1, 1 into 1, 1. So this option A is the truth table of AND gate, and that is the output for given logic circuit. So correct option is A option. Thank you.